What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the Playbook. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's free. We're giving you the insider trading. We're giving you the goods. And today we are discussing, and I'm clarifying, time finishing. Is it worth it? When you should use it? What shot types it actually matters for? At least in FC 24. If you're not familiar with time finishing, well, this might not be the full tutorial for that. But basically, if you time your shot properly, in theory, the shot should have more power, better accuracy, better shape or curvature, just depending on the shot type. And you can time every single shot. Are you with me? We're gonna go over 5 different shot types here. So first off, you have the regular shot, typically inside the box, across the body, near post. You're just hitting the circle command. It's what most of you guys are using on a regular basis to score goals. Next up, we have the power shot, which is L1 and R1 at the same time. And a lot of you are not using this. You're not bringing it into your gameplay, yet alone thinking about even trying to time this finish. That's just the reality. You can cancel out of it, which I think is a really interesting new addition this year in particular. And I've put out videos about that. See what I mean? The canceling is kind of tidy. Finesse shot. Everyone is familiar. You're holding R1 modifier, and then you're opening up your body. You're getting an angle. It gives you a little more of that curvature. Remember that trajectory that we're talking about. We love a good finesse shot. I think everyone would agree. The trivela, which has become extremely popular. And ideally, you would want to have a right-footed player on the right side, left-footed player on the left side, because you're going across the body. It's still that finesse shot angle. You hold L2, and then you get a different shape. And in that case, I missed the opportunity. We're going to run that back. I feel like I got to go out on a make. There it is. All right, hits the post. That's where we're leaving off there, apparently. I didn't time either of those, but that's the trivela. Lastly, we have the chip shot, which has been around since the beginning of FIFA times. You hold L1, shooting command. You're trying to dink it over the goalkeeper. Ideally, you want the goalkeeper off his line. It's more situational. Yes, you can time this, but there it is. Beautiful. Let's make this simpler for you. And I'm going to give you the general rule book. Power shots, most of you aren't even utilizing power shots, yet alone thinking about timing them. So cross that off. You're not trying to time your power shots unless you're at an elite level. You're trying to be a pro player. I don't want you to overconsume learning different facets of the game that don't really make a big difference for your results. Chip shot, same situation. If the keeper's off his line, he's off his line. Can you be a little more accurate with a timed perfectly chip shot? Sure. But you're really doing the most at that point. And the general rule for all of you watching, there's no need. Is the keeper coming out or is he sitting back? Even for regular shots, unless you have an obscure, unique angle, it's hard to measure the risk for reward, because if you mistime a shot, you have no chance of converting. And you're most likely, if you're using just the regular shooting command, you're inside the box. So that leaves us with the finesse shot and the trivela. Outside the box, long distances, I believe this is worth adding into your arsenal and then learning the animations, because you have to get used to the animations. And I have somewhere to go. If you go into the training center, there are always the options for finesse shots, power shots, chip shots, trivela shots. It's a good place to get some practice. I've always preferred the arena. So these are kind of going to be your bread and butter. You see the green time finish there. I believe you get a boost with players that of course have play styles, players that don't have play styles. The reality is, if you can't do this consistently, like if you're in the arena and you can't green on a consistent basis, there's no business for you to add this in. And not to be a broken record, but as I was saying, each shot type has a little bit of a different animation. This year in particular, with finesse shots, I've also struggled with some of the timing. And you don't want that to happen. If that's the case, you're wasting free opportunities. But similar situation to the trivela, you want to be kind of in these zones, these little pockets. Green, didn't even go in. But that's the debate. I believe it's worth it for most people. Learning the trivela, a little bit of green, increases your consistency. And the same could be said with finesse shots. At the end of the day, your biggest increase in conversions will be getting players that have the proper play styles. Having a play style plus for finesse shot makes it where this son, you don't need to time them. It's not the worst thing to do, but you really don't need to. He's already going to have that extra cushion. I'm always looking for players that have the trivela, because the whole shape, the way that they animate, even the quickness of that execution for the finishing, it's a little bit smoother. It's a little bit faster. Quick recap for the people. And this applies even for beginner, intermediate, advanced players. There is an exception, a very micro group, that you want to time everything. But the general rule of thumb, time finishing is not needed for chips, not needed for the power shot, not needed for the regular shot, especially not if you're working it inside. Get the right angle, score the goal. And then I would focus on the trivelas even more so than finesse shooting. In my personal opinion, I notice a little bit of a boost where the goalkeeper just reacts a little slower. It has an extra oomph on those trivelas, and only from outside the box. I am not trying to time everything inside the box. So that's the general rules of thumbs. And I took a poll on Twitter, and it seems like a lot of people agree in certain regards. There's 40% currently that are saying they're not timing any shots. And then there's an 18, it's some any shots. And then the rest of the group is some sort of mix and match of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Hopefully you found this helpful. I just wanted to address it because we've been getting so many questions and people don't know where to focus their time. As always, I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.